Hello, how are you doing? Welcome once again to our podcast. Now, I hope our messages have been blessing you. Thank you for being a part of this family. Thank you for being a part of what we do out here. Thank you for letting our message be a part of a blessing to your life. Now, today we want to talk about communication. Now, this should be like the second time we're talking about communication on this podcast. So today we want to talk about communication is a topic we cannot overemphasize. It's something you cannot overflow because communication is a key tool to the reason why most marriages are having issues. Now, even in businesses, as an entrepreneur, as a manager or a director of a big firm, you should have communication times, or we call them staff meetings, with your staffs from time to time. You should have that communication. Make sure there is no communication breaches going on. And that's why people have board meetings as well. Make sure there is no communication breach going on. Now, the reason why to do this is so people do not start assuming things. People do not start going into conclusions of things that are not there. So you once in a while make sure there is no communication gap between you and anyone you are having anything to do with. Now, this comes to do with any institution whatsoever, and most importantly, the institution of marriage. Marriage is an institution, like we always say. So it is very important that in our homes, in our relationship, that we hold up a very high level of communication, that there is no room for the other party assuming things. Because when I start assuming and you are assuming, that is when problem comes in. An assumption comes when we are not being communicated to properly, when we are not being communicated to effectively. Now, that is what we want to talk about today. Effective communication. Effective communication. Now, it is one thing to communicate, it is another thing to communicate effectively. It's another thing to communicate effectively. And that is why you might be saying something, but someone is not hearing what you're saying. Someone is not understanding what you're saying because you are not communicating effectively. So we're going to be talking about what is the importance of communicating effectively and how does it affect our marriage. Number one, effective communication is essential for every successful marriage. Just like we said in any institution, it is essential for any successful marriage. There should be effective communication. Couples should learn to communicate effectively. Nothing should be left off the table. It allows couples to connect with each other on a deeper level. Now, I can't oversay this. It allows couples to connect with each other on a more deeper level when they are able to communicate effectively. Now, they will be able to understand each other's thoughts and feelings. You'll be able to understand where the other party is coming from. There will be no room for miscommunication. There will be no room for misinterpretation. I did not understand what you were trying to say. You did not say it the way it's supposed to be and all that. So it allows them to not just understand each other, but understand the feelings behind what that person is saying, and helps them resolve conflict quickly. It helps resolve conflict quickly and in a healthy, constructive way. It helps resolve. When you communicate effectively, discover that things that would have been a very big issue are resolved healthily and constructively. Number two, effective communication involves being open and honest with your partner. It involves being open and honest with your wife, with your husband. Effective communication involves active listening to everyone's perspective. It's not just about you just talking. Now, that's why I said effective communication. Now, communication is a two-way line. It is you saying, I am responding. So it is actively listening to your partner's perspectives and showing that you understand. Now, when you are communicating with someone and you are not interested in listening to what that person is saying, I don't believe that is communication. You are just passing a message. So communication involves both parties sharing their feelings and getting heard and being understood properly. Now, number three is it means being able to express your own thoughts and feelings clearly and accurately, and being willing to adapt your communication style to suit the situation. Now, what this means is You don't have to insult your partner to communicate with that person. You don't have to say harsh words to communicate with that person. You don't have to shout. You don't have to scream at the top of your voice. Communication can be done respectively and in a very, very good manner. And that is when it becomes very, very effective. It becomes, because if you're shouting at someone, there's every chance the person won't listen to you, even when what you are saying is true. If you're shouting at your partner, if you're being rude about it, there are every 19, I can assure you that person is not listening to whatever you're trying to say to the person. Now, even when you're talking to children, most of these children in this our generation, you don't just scream at them. You're not communicating. That's just the truth. So that's the part of effective communication we're trying to talk about today. Being able to communicate your feelings and pass it out respectively. Pass it out, and it will make meaning to the person you're trying to say it to. Now, when couples communicate effectively, they are able to build trust, intimacy in their relationship. They are able to build trust and intimacy in their relationship. Now, they can share their hopes, their dreams, their challenges with each other and support each other through both good and bad times. Now, what this means is, when couples communicate with each other properly, they know where the other person is coming from. And that is where you see most couples, they know what the other person is about to say, because there is a very good level of communication between the both of them. I do not have to say things most of the times. You already know why I'm doing what I'm doing, where my actions are coming from. Now, why most couples have issue is, the wife doesn't know what the husband is doing. The husband does not know what the wife is doing. And then there is room for assumptions, and there is room for a lot of lapustic things going on in this relationship. I'm sorry for my use of word. So there is room for a lot of miscommunication, and I don't know what you are doing. You don't know what I'm doing. We are bound to have conflict. We are bound to have to come to a place where I don't know what you're doing. You're not part of me. We cannot flow together. Now, number 6, which is one of the most important ones for me, is effective communication can enhance couples' ability to parent and raise a child. It can help in raising a family. Now, a couple that does not communicate effectively will not be able to raise a family effectively. Because how do two captains, you cannot have two people who don't agree raise someone. So that's why you see a lot of defective generations coming in, because we have couples who have not learned the act of effective communication, Now, on our next video, we'll be talking about how to communicate effectively, how to pass your message effectively. What do I do? How do I say what I need to say? And we'll be putting out scenarios out there that could help you to pass out your communication effectively. Now, if you have anything to say about this video, your inputs, please put it down in the comment section and send us an email as usual, and we'll be most glad to take them. And thank you very much for watching this video. God bless you. Remember, our families are blessed, honor and favor, nothing missing and nothing broken. You are the best.